Alright guys, we're here today with the 1000 subscriber Q&A. Really quick, I just want to thank you guys once again for 1000 subs. It is just amazing and I couldn't ask for anything more. It is awesome. Really quick though, if you do hear some sort of like vibration or humming noise in the background, it's probably my AC. It's very loud for some reason. I'll do my best to, try to mess with some edits here and try to edit it out. Other than that, we're gonna go ahead and get right into these questions. I have about 41 questions to answer, so you guys did get a lot of questions there, so we're gonna get started here. The first question comes from Carson Bowles, and he says, what is your favorite game mode? He was talking in regards to Gary's mod, and my favorite game mode is Dark RP. I kind of like prop hunt. It's kind of fun, I don't know. I don't know, I'm not really a fan of Gary's mod besides the Dark RP area, so yeah, that's basically my favorite game mode. Next question is from I'm guessing it's Popion, and he says, you should do a Cronet series, not admin on duty, just growing weed, printing, raiding, becoming a cop, and defending, and that stuff. Try something different on Cronet. Well, I would do that, and I might do it, but I don't really think it'll be very successful. Like, I don't know. Cronet, I mean, I like Cronet a lot, but I feel like sometimes it does get very repetitive, so I don't know. I mean, it's something to consider for sure, but I don't know if I'm gonna do it. Maybe. The next question comes from Scorpion RTD, and he says, not a question, but do a face reveal and do vlogs. Face reveal, I don't really know when I'm gonna do that. I want a little bit more. I kind of want to wait a little bit to do that eventually though. And vlogs, again, I want to wait to get a little bit more subscribers. Just, I don't know, just a personal thing. I don't know, just a personal preference, I guess. But it'll happen eventually, but I just don't want to do it like right now. I think it's a little too early to do it, so we'll save it for later. Next question comes from Mr. Miami, and it is, have you ever played Sub Rosa? And also, what is the funniest moment as an admin? Actually, I had to look this up before I did this because I didn't know what Sub Rosa was. So obviously I have not played it before, but it does not look like a bad game at all. It looks kind of fun, something to do when you're bored, so I might actually check that out, maybe. So, and funniest moment, well, there isn't really, I guess, funny moments. A lot of times it's serious, as you could see, but just sometimes, just some of the calls we get and what they end up turning out to be are kind of funny sometimes, but there's nothing really like to laugh a lot about. So next question comes from Daniel Bile, and he says, how long have you played on Cronet? I've been on Cronet since June 25th 2015. Well, actually that was the forum date, but I'm pretty sure I played a little bit before that. But next question comes from Dylan Solms. He says, when are you going to do a face reveal? Like I said, I'm going to wait a little bit and then I'll decide. Like I said, not really too sure how long I'm going to wait, but I don't know, probably like an extra 1,000 subs or so maybe, and then I'll do it. Next question comes from It's Justin. Have you ever moderated anywhere before Cronet? In terms of Gary's mod, yes, I was basically an admin on this one server. I took a break for like a week or two. I think I was on vacation or something. The server ended up switching maps to Evo City, and it basically just died. So other than that, I've co-owned a Minecraft server, did a few other things on other games, but nothing really notable. Next question comes from Lacking Potatoes, and he says, how long have you been with the Cronet community and when did you first start playing? Like I said, around June of 2015. That's basically when I joined, and I played for like a month, took a break until like August, played a little bit again, took a break, came back in like October, and then I've been pretty much dedicated since. Next question comes from Papa Swanky, and he says, you introduced me to Cronet, and so far it's one of the best experiences I've had on a Gmod server. Thank you. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Also, when did you first join Cronet? Like I said, the last two times, June of 2015. Next question comes from Zach Stewart, and he says, ass or titties? Well, you had to bring out the TNA question, but ass. So yeah. Cover01 says, on a scale from 1 to 10, how much does the cop force suck on Cronet? I would give it a 5 because it's 50-50. It's not always bad, but sometimes it's a little rough. It needs improvement. There's a few people had some pretty good recommendations on how to fix it, but I wouldn't say it's the worst. I'd say it's about 50-50. So maybe 60% bad, 40% good. I don't really know exactly. I don't really pay attention too much anymore, as I don't really find time to roleplay, but based off of admin calls, I can't really make that judgment. So Zeta Gaming asks, what has been your hardest and most confusing sit so far? I do have a lot of sits that end up going like 30 minutes long, and they're actually insanely they end up always being a waste of time. They never go anywhere. And a lot of it's because, oh well, I do have evidence, or I do have this, or I have that. So it's like, I don't know, sometimes they get extended out, and the sits that are 30 minutes long just suck. So I wouldn't say it's confusing, they just, I don't know, sometimes they get difficult to work with. So GamerC0918 says, how were you introduced to gaming in general? Well, basically it started when I was younger. I started out with like a Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, DS, Nintendo 64, PS1, PS2. I played it all when I was a kid. So I started young, like, I don't know, probably 3 years old, so I've been doing it for a long time. So, and then luckily I was born early enough to where I got to experience, you know, the N64, PS1, GameCube, all that stuff. So yeah, I've had a pretty good experience and history with gaming. So Blueberry Muffin says, nice mate, thank you. And am I the best mayor? No, you are not. Just kidding, you are good, but I don't know if you're the best, maybe. Aaron Cartel says, what is the funniest moment as an admin? Like I said, nothing really too funny, just, I don't know, there's nothing really notably funny that happens. I don't know. There's just nothing really funny that happens. I mean, sometimes it's funny when people like troll, and then when they don't realize that there's an admin watching them right now, they feel really dumb and they don't know how to react. That it's pretty funny sometimes, but other than that, like I said, nothing really too funny or notable. Prodigy Gaming says, what made you decide to start making YouTube videos? Well, there's another question coming up about the history of me and YouTube, but I guess just doing it for fun. It's fun to do. People seem to enjoy it, so I just thought I'd give it a go, and I mean, it seems to work out decently well. So nothing really too serious. I just kind of was like, you know what, I'll get into the history later with it, but you know, when I saw it, I was like, oh, you know, this doesn't seem too difficult. I might as well just try myself. So yeah, that's basically where I am now. Admin Layerman says, do you think you can get 10k subs? Well, this really depends, you know, if I stay consistent with it. You know, if school catches up, you know, I'm going to college now, so may or may not be a lot. I don't know, it's too much to judge. Just really probably depends on the class, but if I stay consistent and, you know, I get the great support that I do now in, you know, in the next months, then yeah, I mean, it's possible for sure. So I'm pretty confident as long as I stay consistent with it, and yeah, I'm decently confident I can get there at some point. Again, another question from Nathan Lane, or no, this is a different person, just same profile picture. Nathan Lane 0117 says, do you plan on doing any other RP related things on games other than Gmod? Well, I'm considering maybe Altus Life, maybe the Arma 3 mod. I'm not too sure yet, haven't really decided. If you have any recommendations for other RP games, then go ahead and suggest them in the comments, and I'll check them out for sure, because if I can find something good, I'll definitely consider it. So Ahmed X says, 1. How often do you shower? Once a day. 2. Do you smell like waffles? No, I don't. 3. Can you tell Evan to give me some pancakes because he always gets me waffles and I need a pancake dealer? Well, if he's watching this video, then there you go. 4. If Evan doesn't make pancakes, can you be my pancake dealer? No, I can't. And 5. If you do not, and if I'm not in your next video, can I spank you with a french fry? No, you may not. Kiefer says, what talents do you have? Well, other than this and a little bit of, you know, GFX and Photoshop and whatnot like that, I used to love producing. I used to make like hip-hop rap beats like 2 years ago or so. I kind of gradually stopped doing it. I think I got pretty decent at it. I don't really do it anymore. Sometimes I'll sit down and do it and just kind of grind one out and have fun with it, but other than that, I never really took it that serious. So other than that, nothing really notable other than that. So Koyo665 says, at what age did you start making YouTube? I'm assuming videos, and who and what got you into it? About 6th grade is when I started doing it. About 6th grade. I got introduced in like 4th grade, and I was used to think like, oh, this is for certain age groups, this and that. I did 4th, 5th grade, I used to think that it was like a huge deal, huge website, this and that, you know, more for older people, like teens or adults. 6th grade came, and my friend he watched it a lot, so I was like, all right, you know, I'm gonna start, you know, getting into this, because obviously there's a lot of awesome videos on here. And so yeah, that's basically, I started watching it, using it more. 6th grade, you know, it was kind of a joke when I was doing it then, obviously up until like freshman year in high school. Then I started, you know, actually doing serious, well, I'd say 8th grade. But yeah, basically the person who showed me it, he had his own, and he used to make videos, and I was like, all right, I guess I'll do it for fun. You know, it's back when I first started playing TF2, and I used to make videos on there. So that channel's gone though. So, but yeah, that's when I started, and that's how I got into it. Lenny says, how old are you? I'm 17, and I turned 18 in a month. So, Richie Studio says, do you shit post? And yes, I do, because it's an art, and the real question here is, do you? And I think this will answer that.
Oh my god! What the shit? I shot! I'm done with this game. That's some bullshit!
Oh my god.
Bullshit!
Makes me so mad.
Fucking brats! Rats! Chaps! Faps! Brats!
Oh my.
Angel Violence Gaming says, what inspired you to be an admin? Well, I don't know if you ever heard of him, but there's a person named The Defaults who makes videos just like how I do. His is like life as an admin or whatever, so I kind of watch him here and there. He doesn't really upload that much, you know, just watching him and whatnot, it just kind of convinced me like, oh yeah, this is a really cool thing to do. So basically, when I was watching him, I saw what it was like, and that kind of just convinced me to get into it. So I was like, all right, yeah, I think this is something, you know, work up to on a server that I'm dedicated to right now. So I worked up to it, and yeah, this is where I am now. Mr. Salmon says, what do you do for a job? And also want to give Daryl Hussey some of that paper cheddar. Okay, I don't get that, but I do school years in session. I do a like after school program type thing. I don't know, I'm probably not gonna do it anymore, but that's what I did for a little bit, and I'm gonna try doing something else. So but yeah, that's I guess what I used to do. So Bilsk says, what do you hate, or who do you hate most of Coronet? Well, I mean, obviously that's not an appropriate question for me to answer, obviously, and it's not that I don't like people, it's just that sometimes I think the community can be improved, and I think people can, you know, act better around each other. You know, where a lot of the community is loyal, you know, they play together, and you know, they should be, you know, friendly with each other rather than hating and, you know, just arguing and just stuff like that. So it's not that I don't dislike people specifically, just sometimes I think the community can have some improvement in general. Dham Fear says, how did you come up with your YouTube name? And this is actually an interesting question. So it started in 8th grade. I was doing me and this guy that I used to play Xbox with started a trick shotting clan, so that went on for, you know, I don't know, 2 months, 3 months. Then when I went on like a mini vacation, he was the co-owner, and he, I guess, disbanded it. So I was like, okay, you know, I'm just gonna go solo and do my own thing. And I was like, I would like to come up with a name, you know, can you help me? Well, at that time, medical things with my family were just enlarged at that time. So he's like, and I was like, yeah, and I want studios in it, just because it sounds like a solo name. And he's like, all right, well, why don't you just do Mythic Studios? I was like, yeah, that sounds awesome. So, and it's stuck with me since. So I've had it for 4 or 5 years now, and yeah, that's basically how that happened. It was pretty simple, but you know, it's a creative name, I like it. Strobes asks how long you've been doing YouTube. Like I said, about, I don't know, 6 years, 7 years maybe. Your boy Matt Plays says, do you have a girlfriend? No, I don't. And for those of you who do know, they play too many games, man. They play way too many games. Cheesy asks, how dank are your memes? Very dank. Actually very dank. Killer Bear Star says, do you like Med Daddy? Well, I don't know who you are, but I'm sure. KJM629 says, what is your favorite topping? P.S. I'm Jeffy Gutenberg. Do you remember me from Coronet? Yes, I remember who you are, man. The name's just unique, so I always remember, and I always remember the KJM and the Angry Steve picture. I just can't forget that. So but favorite topping, I don't know what you mean by that. I'm just gonna go ahead and say the hot sauce Cholula, because I put the stuff on everything. Pizza, noodles, whatever, anything that's plain, I'll throw Cholula on it. So I'm just gonna assume that's what you mean. Camcraft asks 2 questions, and since they were conveniently on top of each other, I just said, okay, whatever, I'm gonna answer both of them. He says, do you play on okay, he worded it weirdly. So he says, he's implying, do you plan on playing other goofy games with your friends like Rocket League or golf with your friends? For example, can you do a CSGO funny moments with your friends, like voice and everything instead of just gameplay? To the first one, yes, I plan on getting Rocket League at some point, games like that. I just think they're fun to play for fun. And the CSGO funny moments, I am actually putting clips together right now. That video should be coming soon, probably sometime this week. I think I have enough clips. I'll probably scrap up a couple more, but yeah, expect that pretty soon. So Flexi says, are you gonna do another game? Are you gonna do other games apart from GMI? By the way, keep up the good work. Thank you very much. And I plan on it, but you know, I made a CSGO video, it didn't really do that well. I would like to get more attention towards those, because I understand, like I said in other videos, you know, the Gary's mod, you know, admin thing, a lot of people like it, I understand that. Quite honestly, I'm not gonna be able to handle doing the same game over and over again. I gotta switch it up, so yeah, expect more for sure. Mr. About says, what got you into Gmod, and as us new beginners, what kind of tips can you give us? Same person who got me into YouTube in general showed me Gary's mod back in the days where Bullshit Productions was big with like the Idiot Box series and just all the, like the Gmod movies back then. That's how I found out about it, so I got it, screwed around in single player for a couple days, didn't play for like 3 years, and then started playing it again. And yeah, that's where I am now. I didn't know how to play the game, and then one day in I don't know, I think I was in high school, I was like, alright, I'm gonna play this game again. And I was like, and then that's when I found out about Dark RP, Prop Hunt, all that stuff. So because back then the game was, I could say, new, I guess. I mean, it wasn't like new, but it was newer than it is now. Rapid Vid says, Ryan, what do you sexually identify as? As an Apache chopper? Sorry, I don't have a meme to say for that question, so I'm just gonna use the old one. Might as well. I mean, it's better than nothing. The Rude Sandstorm Gaming says, can you make a funny moments video of things you don't put in your admin videos? Well, I'm assuming you mean like funny moments as an admin. Like I said, there's nothing really that notable that happens, so I mean, funny clips start coming up, then maybe we'll throw something together, but other than that, like I said, nothing really notable happens, so I don't really see a point making it something to consider though, for sure. Alex Troxel says, are the same people still playing, example, Nicky, James, and the Pooters besides you? Actually, basically around March and April, I'd say about 90% of the community is gone, or the old community, I guess, from like September to April. I mean, once the update hit, it was like a whole new community, so no, not really. I mean, most people left, so I'd say like 90% of the old community is now gone, and there's still a little bit of the old community left. So Protein says, what are your plans for the future of your channel? I love this question, and my plans are to stay consistent, upload content everybody likes, you know, just strive for what I want, obviously please you guys, but I just want to have fun with it. I want to get somewhere with it. That's basically my plan. So if you guys have any recommendations, be sure to put them below. I'm open to recommendations all the time. So yeah, that's basically my future plans. I'm just, you know, the basic, it's just the cliche things, I guess you could say. So Not PewDiePie says, what I think you should do is do a undercover admin series. I've always wondered what you all do when you all are undercover. That's not a bad idea. I'm actually going to consider that. It might get a little boring, but it gets tricky. That's a good idea. I'll consider that one. And looks like that's all we have for today. Thank you guys for posting questions. I hope a lot of your questions were answered. This was a great opportunity for that. Anyhow, we'll be doing more of these in the future. If you guys enjoyed, go ahead and drop a like. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. I'd appreciate that, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.